going on, Jerome's? Your Minnesota Vikings got it done 13-4, wanting some more, hosting the 6th seed New York Football Giants wild card weekend. We got Tell the Truth Monday, 10 truths about the Minnesota Vikings. Also, the true is Victory Monday rocks, 15% off everything at the Purple for the Win store right now. Get yourself the Jerome hat. Again, free shipping on anything, no minimums. Use promo code Victory Monday at checkout. Go hit that up. There, producer Allie's happy. But Tell the Truth Monday. First up, number 1. Hey, point differential doesn't matter anymore. Like, blah, blah, blah. Vikings are the only 13-win team in NFL history to have a negative point differential, a -3. It doesn't matter. The only point differential that matters is on that scoreboard when the Vikings play the Giants, and then when the Vikings play whoever in the division round, and the Vikings play whoever in the NFC title game, and then the Vikings who play whoever in the Super Bowl. You know what's going to happen? Vikings win the Super Bowl over the Chiefs by 1 point and be like, it was the lowest point differential in Super Bowl history. Shut up. Absolutely shut up. Yeah. It's a family show, but finally we can just get rid of this. It's such a stupid narrative, and it's something that they clubbed the Vikings with all season long, even though it was never brought up before in any previous season. Doesn't matter. Number 2, don't rest on the 13-4 season. And what's really great is media availability. Kevin O'Connell, Kirk Cousins, Patrick Peterson, Duke Shelley. Like, everyone's like, hey, I mean, this is great. 13 wins is great, but we want more. The real season starts now, and it's a one-game season, taking on the New York Football Giants. And, of course, the Giants, number 3, the Giants are going to come in pissed off because of what happened on Christmas Eve. I'm sure they thought that they should have pulled that game out if Greg Joseph didn't kick that 61-yard field goal from Hastings. And the Giants are going to give the Vikings their best shot. They really are, and it was a near-run thing last time. But the Vikings have to be fired up. They have to be ready to rock and roll. U.S. Bank Stadium is going to come off its hinges. It's got to be loud and proud, and it's got to be long and strong and get the friction down. That's right. That's right. This ain't over. Like, all the haters and the losers say that, the Vikings are going to be a one-and-done. Now, take care of business at home, get the divisional round, maybe be hosting a second divisional round game, and then just go from there. Next up. Number 4, the patchwork offensive line. Promising? So even though the Bears' pass rush was relatively inert, the offensive line did okay. A handful of pressures on Kirk Cousins, but 0 goose egg D'Angelo Russell sacks on Kirk Cousins as well as Nick Mullins. Chris Reed had a couple of snap issues, but overall played decently. Oli Udoh fared pretty well at right tackle. And TBD what happens with Bradbury. Some of Kevin O'Connell's comments about Bradbury sort of hedging what's going on with him, as well as the reason why Chris Reed was in for so long with the starters, because they wanted to get him some familiarity with Ezra and Ed Ingram. So probably not a good sign. So Chris Reed could be your starting center for the wild card game against the Giants. And Blake Brandel might come back from injured reserve, but he might not. And Oli Udoh, respect, played well at right tackle. And frankly, right tackle is his position. That's where he played his entire career at Elan. They tried to make him a left tackle and right guard here with the Vikings. Hadn't worked. But him at his natural position, it may work out. There you go. Next up, number 5. Free KJ Osborne and Duke Shelley time. That's right. Where KJ got things going against the Bears, 66-yard reception, 5 catches for like $112 or something like that. But, KJ just gets it done. In big-time spots, he clearly has a trust of Kirk Cousins. And I love Thielen to death, and he still is a threat in the red zone, as evidenced on Sunday. But I think KJ is your wide receiver, too, right now. KJ's out there making plays, and maybe it's because the defense doesn't take him seriously, or they're just focused on Jefferson and Hawkinson, but 17 is 100. He's looking really good right now. And Duke Shelley, first off, re-sign Duke Shelley ASAP, and there's no reason why Duke Shelley shouldn't be in consideration for the starting outside cornerback job next year. Not in the slot. That was a problem with the Bears. It's like, he's short, so he must be a slot cornerback. No, he's an outside the numbers cornerback. He is that guy. So there's no reason why Duke Shelley can't come in next year against Cameron Dantzler and Caleb Evans and Andrew Booth and rookie cornerbacks TBD, compete and win the job. Like, he's making some big-time plays right now. And him and Patrick Peterson, they struck up a quick friendship, and they're looking good right now starting on the outside. Next up, number 6, 21 personnel. Secret weapon. So Irv Smith, sort of whatever against the Bears, but it's just good to have him back out on the field and getting back into game shape. And Hawkinson and Irv, that could be the secret weapon for the Vikings, where they're going to want to have some extra tight end help at right tackle with Oli Udoh or Blake Brandel, whoever's out there, and they want to play a little bit heavier, so hopefully it's a little bit better in the run game. And if the Vikings take the field with 21 personnel, so 1 running back, 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, a lot of teams are going to have to stay in their base packages, or if they're in nickel, the Vikings should be able to run on him. And remember, Irv really improved as a run blocker, and he's one of the big reasons why the Vikings running game was solid to begin with. And Hockenson, of course, is a solid run blocker. So you factor all that in, the Vikings running game gets going. Play action becomes more viable. And Irv and Hockenson, they're too big for too big for safeties and too fast for linebackers. So I mean, it's going to be a mismatch all over the place. Also throwing Jefferson, also throwing Dalvin, also throwing KJ, a little bit of Thielen in there as well. Why not? Why the hell not? Next up, number 7. Will Za'Darius be back? Now, details are scarce about why Za'Darius missed some time for personal issues. Hopefully, everything is okay. He did miss the Bears game. That was planned. Hopefully, his knee that he's been dealing with all year is ready to go. But, I mean, O'Connell sort of hedged his bets there. He said that he expects Za'Darius back for the playoffs. It wasn't like 100% like he'll be back, where I don't know, but either way, hopefully Za'Darius is fine and good to go, and the Vikings will need that pass rush because, like I said, pass rush is the great equalizer in the playoffs. If you can get after the quarterback in any capacity, it is a clone that covers up a lot of stink on the defense. So Za'Darius, Daniil, PJ2, Wanham, Diesel Dalvin, Harrison Phillips, Kyrus Tonga, they got to get after it, man. Got to get after it. Next up, number 8. Worried about Greg Joseph. So Joseph, 5 game-winning field goals, great. Game winner against the Colts, awesome. Game winner from 61 yards against the Giants, great. But then missed 2 field goals against the Packers, missed an extra point freaking again against the Bears. And the Vikings, they're dedicated to playing these really close games. I mean, they're gonna have to rely on him, right? So hopefully he gets un-effed. Hopefully he gets good to go. And if it's an issue with kicking outdoors, I mean, he's going to have to suck it up because there's a chance that the Vikings will have to go to San Francisco at some point. There's a chance that the Vikings will have to go to Philly at some point. Philly. All right, so he's going to have to get used to kicking outdoors. There's just no 2 ways about it. Next up, number 9. Got to take chances on defense. All right, so you played sort of a vanilla, inert defense against the Bears, treat it like a preseason game, but you got to get after that ass. You can't sit back and watch life happen to you like you did in the Packers game. You have to take it to the enemy, just like you did in the Giants game, just like you did in the second half of the Colts game. So Ed Donatel's got to dial up pressure. He's got to let his corners press. That's why Duke Shelley being out there is fantastic, and you got to get heat. You have to generate pressure as much as possible, and you just have to get after that ass. Next up, number 10. It's Kirk's time to shine. We've outlined before. 2017, allegedly, Nick Foles got red hot and won a Super Bowl. 2012, Joe Flacco, Hail Flacco, had an insane playoff run and won a Super Bowl. You've seen quarterbacks who aren't seen as elite just get hot at the right moment and just deal. And Kirk Cousins, respect. This is the best season of Kirk Cousins' career. Him and Kevin O'Connell are like this. There's a reason why Justin Jefferson led the league in receptions and receiving yards, and this offense can be elite. Absolutely elite. A little bit helter-skelter at times this year, but if they can get their ish together for 4 games, that's all you need. 4 games, and you can win the Super Bowl, and Kirk could be that reason. Lastly, let's do one more. Number 11. Kevin O'Connell needs to be better. And you know what's great about it? He's a first-year head coach, deserves a lot of leeway, but he takes ownership of all his mistakes, and he took ownership of the absolute mess of that debacle of trying to get the field goal unit on the field right before the half against the Bears. And, yeah, he's made mistakes. Game management mistakes, which you would expect from a first-year head coach. We've seen veteran head coaches still make clock management and time management mistakes, but also he needs to understand the locker room. He instilled a culture of positivity. Yeah, you got each other's backs, right? But the emotional hangovers, they can't have that anymore. Every single game has to be completely boxed off, has to be completely independent. So Kevin O'Connell needs to get this team up when they're down. He needs to bring them down when they're up, and everything like that. Again, 4 games, and you can win a Super Bowl. That's it. But that's it. That's Tell the Truth Monday. 11 truths, I guess. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. As I burp. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.